it worries me because they're not. I know they've had some training, but they're not medically trained.
No.
You know, if you ring up and give some symptoms and they say, "Oh, I'll put you on a list for the doctor," that's not so bad if the phone calls that day, but if it's 3 weeks in the future,
Yeah.
and you could be describing cancer for all.
Yeah.
Ron, I actually had, I didn't know it, I had skin cancer, and at Oxford, I booked an appointment and didn't know it was skin cancer, and I got a 3-week telephone referral, and they actually have this link where you have to take pictures. So I had to take photographs of my skin and send it in, and said, we'll refer you to Churchill, which is a very famous cancer hospital in Oxford. Long story short, that appointment is due in June, and I'm actually cured of skin cancer now. I've had ointment which has burnt all my skin off, and the other new skin is generated underneath it. That took over a month. So it took 3 months to sort it out, but I'm still waiting the consultant's appointment, which was a referral to Churchill, which isn't due for another 2 months.
Unbelievable, but totally believable.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That's rubbish.
My daughter-in-law had to have an internal investigation. She had to swallow a small camera. As it goes down, it takes photographs, and it's supposed to pass out naturally. And hers didn't pass out. It got stuck inside her. And this thing, the camera, is leaching all different sorts of chemicals, and they wouldn't do anything about it. And it was only when she was on the verge of collapse because of all these chemicals that are poisoning her, they actually took her in and got the camera out and had her in for a few days to bring her around. I know we've got a pandemic, but
it's been used as an excuse in a lot of cases.
The results of it, and I don't mean them.
But back to your point, Ron, it's once you get there, the clinical care is pretty good, but you've got to jump through so many hoops to get to it through unqualified people. That's the deal.
I agree with you. When you do get treated, it's excellent. The NHS treatment very good, but it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on a high horse, so I better get off.
Onwards and upwards.
Well, we're with you.
Okay.
Right.
Ron, carry on, Ron.
Shall I carry on? He's lullaby.
No, carry on, Ron. Finish off what you're doing, Ron.
Well, I'm going to say I've more or less finished the film. I thought I'd seen as the two main. The film is about two athletes. I thought I'd have a little bit about Harold Abrahams and Eric Liddell. So, Harold Morris Abrahams was born on the 15th of December, 1899, and he died on the 14th of January, 1978. So he was 25-ish when he won the Olympic gold medal. His father was a Jewish immigrant from Lithuania. So although Harold himself was born in this country, his family weren't. His father, they weren't poor. His father was a financier, and he was born in Bedford. And his older brother was Sir Adolphus Abrahams, who was a physician and doctor. So, reasonably Oh, I didn't know that. I just read something. His brother founded the British Association of Sports Medicine.
That's based in Sheffield now.
And his younger brother, Sidney Abrahams, represented Great Britain in the Olympics in the long jump, and he was knighted, Sir Sidney Abrahams. So he didn't come from a deprived family. He came from a privileged family, but as I said earlier on, problems because of his he went to Bedford School, Repton School, and Gonville and Gaius College, Cambridge.
Gonville and
Keys. Caius, that one.
Yeah, Keys it's pronounced.
Keys. Yeah.
Keys, is it? Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Where he was a member of the Gilbert and Sullivan Society. Apparently a big part of his life was singing. He'd been a sprinter and a long jumper all his life. He did have a place in the 1920 Olympics, but was eliminated in the quarterfinals. So it wasn't his first Olympics when he went in. The film implies it was his first Olympics, but it wasn't. He had run in 1920 for the both 100 and the 200 meters.
Yards. Would it be yards then?
No, it was meters.
Right.
The Olympics have always been meters, Keith.
Right.
It was one of the disadvantages of British athletes were they were practicing over 100 yards or 220 yards, where the actual races were slightly different distances, 100 meters and 200 meters.
10% longer.
Same with the Americans.
Yeah.
But the Americans the same, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to overcome it somehow.
Yeah, they were faster.
Yeah. I've always found Americans being a bit fast
And loose.
fast and thick. Mango, we're recording this, so I ought to be careful what I say. I don't know, nothing to do with this, but I ever told you the story, I think I may have done, when I was working just outside Chicago. And we were talking about fireworks, and I was near the 4th of July, and this woman said, "Will you be having fireworks in England?" And I said, "No, not on the 4th. We don't celebrate Independence Day." And she said, "Oh, you don't get fireworks." So I explained we have them at a different time. But she said, "Why don't you celebrate Independence Day?" And I said, "Do you know who America got independence from?" No. I said it was Britain, so that's why. And she did not know who America had got independence from. Just a story, nothing to do with Harold Abrahams, but I thought you might like that. And she was, by the way, she wasn't stupid, this woman. She was
just a
the
medical.
the head of a department that were manufacturing refrigerators, or refrigeration units for trucks.
Horrifying.
Right, where was I? Yeah. He did appoint Sam Musabini as a professional coach who improved his style. And after having an absolutely appalling run in the 200 meters, which is glossed over in the film, everybody thought he'd blown his chance. He's no chance. He was running up against a guy called Charlie Paddock, who'd won the gold medal in 1920, American, was supposed to be flying. Nobody would beat him, but he did. He won it in 10.6 seconds. Paul, I've got an idea, but how slow is that these days?
He wouldn't even qualify to run, I don't think.
No, but that was his winning time in the 100 meters.
There are one or two factual inaccuracies in the film, and they do know that. They set it up in that way. But in actual fact, the 200-meter race was run after the 100 meters in the real thing. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The film makes it out that he has a terrible run in the 200 and vindicates himself by winning the 100.
Yeah.
In fact, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
And
well, I got from Wikipedia actually has got it wrong then, Paul.
right.
So I'm going on what Wikipedia said.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
he and Eric Liddell actually ran. Oh, sorry.
Liddell
and Abrahams ran the 200.
He got a bronze medal.
Yes, he did.
In the 200 meters. Yeah.
And Abrahams came last.
Just a little bit about him. A little bit about him.
Ron, let me stop you. You keep breaking up a bit.
In 1925, he broke his leg playing competition when he ended his career.
Let him go, Keith. He's well on the way now.
Yeah.
He's on a roll.
You're not having.
Broken up again.
Is that any better?
Yeah, carry on.
We've lost Keith now.
He's not got time for that, mate.
We lost you there, Keith.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's 10.6 seconds. They're having a cup of coffee halfway down.
It was anyway. He was team captain in the 1928 Olympics, and he worked as an athletics journalist. In 1936, he reported on the Berlin Olympics, which was, I would suggest, quite a brave thing to do. And he became chairman of the 3As, the Amateur Athletics Association. He was awarded a CBE in 1957, and he's got a blue plaque at his former home in Golders Green. And Norris McWhirter, he of the Guinness Book of Records fame, once quoted that Abraham's managed by sheer force of personality and with very few allies to raise athletics from a minor to a major national sport. So that was Harold Abrahams. Eric Liddell, he was born in 1902 and he died in 1945. We'll mention a bit later on. A Scottish athlete who played, who was a runner and also played rugby union.
Plays for Scotland.
End of the University of Edinburgh. He did play for Scotland, yes, as a winger.
Yeah.
Which is, as a sprinter, isn't surprising, is it, Ian?
No. Won't see many props do 10 points.
He is famous. Yeah. He is famous for not only winning the 400 meters gold medal, which wasn't his distance, but also for the sticking to his Christian faith of not running on a Sunday. He was called the Flying Scotsman. He was actually born in China, the son of Reverend and Mrs. James Dunlop Little. Well, I'm reliably informed that that name is not Dunlop, but Dunlop, who were Scottish missionaries.
Missionaries.
He went to Eltham College, a boarding school in South London, and Edinburgh University. He was a member of the school first 11 at football, first 11 at cricket, first 15 at rugby, and also a runner. And the headmaster described him as being entirely without vanity, a very ordinary, humble man. He was only chosen for the one Olympics, the 1924 Olympics, where he got his gold medal. After that, he refused to run. He said his life was as a missionary. And he went to China as a missionary. He was a teacher as a missionary through the 30s and into the 40s, when eventually he was interned by the Japanese. And he spent his life actually teaching the children in the internment camp. And unfortunately, and I'm cutting this a bit short because there's lots of other bits and pieces, but unfortunately he died in 1945 towards the end of the war in the internment camp, always believing in his Christian beliefs, and as I read it, forgiving his captors. So that's a little bit about the two men, both interesting, outstanding characters. So it's no wonder they could make a decent film about them. So that's it, gentlemen. That's what I got on Chariots of Fire, Harold Abrahams and Eric.
Hello, Rob.
Yes.
One of the other inaccuracies is that Eric Liddell always knew that his race was going to be on a Sunday. He knew for months in advance and actually trained for the 400 meters. And when his time in the 400 meters, it stood as a European record for 12 years afterwards. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
He was a 100-meter runner who converted himself to the 400 and became literally world-class and, better than most.
Interesting.
Ian, interested. A lot of it was filmed in Liverpool. They used a running track in Liverpool and made that into the French Olympic Stadium. And when he's going on the boat to off to the Olympics, it's filmed in the docks in Liverpool.
There's a lot of running in Liverpool, but they're usually carrying stuff when they nick it.
Somebody chasing them.
Harold Abrahams had another tiny piece in history as well, because he was actually one of the official timekeepers when Roger Bannister did his sub 4-minute mile.
Actually, Brian, I've got that and I didn't mention it.
Well,
I've got
there
it
you
in
go.
my notes and didn't mention it. Yes.
Oh, all right.
Right. Just
Yeah.
out of
Yeah, definitely. He was one of the official timekeepers for Roger Bannister's 4-minute mile. Or under 4 minutes.
Out of interest, Ron mentioned the top 20 British films. Any ideas as to some of the others, chaps?
Yes.
When Saturday
Raging
comes.
Bull.
Kes,
Saturday comes.
Brief Encounter.
Kes was number 7.
4 weddings and a funeral.
The Third Man.
The Third Man is the number 1.
Hamlet with Laurence Olivier.
Nope.
Is Zulu British?
Zulu's
Yeah, Zulu.
not in the top 20.
You are?
Well, not a proper top 20 then, is it?
It's not a true top 20 then, is it?
It can't be. Not
That's
without
just-
Zulu.
Can't have a top 20 with no Zulu. I mean, you know.
Carry On films must be up there somewhere.
Oh yeah, that'd be number 1.
The second
Dr. No.
one,
Tom
Was it quick?
Jones.
I'll give you a clue. The second one was a quick meeting.
Brief Encounter.
Encounter.
Exactly.
Brief Encounter.
And
And
that
that
was a
beat
David
Zulu.
Lean film.
Yes.
The third one was also a David Lean.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Arabia.
What about Bridget the River Kwai?
Ryan's daughter.
AKA Aircraftman Shaw.
Number 4, an Alfred Hitchcock film.
Psycho.
Number 4.
39 step.
Rebecca.
39
Step.
steps.
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Number 5 was another David Lean film.
Great Expectations.
Ryan's daughter.
Great
Oh,
Expectations.
Great Expectations.
Expectations.
Yeah, number 6 is a typical British an Ealing film, I think.
Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Lady Killers.
Kind Hearts and Coronets. Then it was
Coronets.
number 8 was I don't know much about it. It was called Don't Look Now.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Donald
Tessa
Sutherland.
Frightening film. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Number
frightening.
9 was The Red Shoes.
Oh, yeah. Maurice Shearer.
Train Spotting. Number 11, a war film.
The Dam Busters.
No,
Bridge
another
over the River
David
Kwai.
Lean film. Bridge over the River Kwai. On the
Bridge
river.
on the River Kwai.
Number 12 was If. Which
Lindsay Anderson.
Anderson.
Strangely,
Yeah.
just an aside, I was watching an old Robin Hood, Richard Green last night, and Lindsay Anderson directed it.
Wow.
Don't laugh, Chris.
It was also in Chariots
No,
of
it's
Fire.
my favourite
as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
My favourite film music.
Number
Robin
13
Hood,
was
Robin
another,
Riding
Robin
Hood again.
Hood.
13 was
Robin Hood.
another Ealing film.
Man in the White Suit.
The Lady
No.
Killers.
The
Lady
Lady Killers. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Number 14, you'd watch at the weekend.
When Saturday comes.
Saturday night and Sunday morning.
Saturday night and Sunday morning, yeah.
Oh, very good.
Number 15, you would have at the seaside.
Brighton Rock.
Brighton Rock, yeah. Number 16, I don't think it was about an American president.
No.
That's got you.
All the President's Men.
No,
That's not American.
No.
It's not British.
That's American. Yeah.
you might eat peanuts when you watch it.
Get Carter.
Get Carter. There you are.
Yeah.
Number 17 was another Ealing film.
Well, the Man in the White Suit.
No, about
Passport to
The Italian Job.
no an attempt to rob.
The Bank of England.
Not The Italian Job.
No,
Robbery.
Ealing film.
Is the one with Alec Guinness and Stanley Holloway?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Where they turned the gold into Eiffel Towers.
Something
Oh.
Gentlemen.
That's
Something
funny.
Gentlemen.
Very
No,
good.
League of Gentlemen.
Yeah.
League of
No.
Gentlemen.
It ends with the word mob.
Lavender.
Lavender
Lavender
Hill.
Hill.
Lavender Hill.
Yeah.
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 Number 18 was a William Shakespeare play, film, whatever.
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
No,
Taming of the Shrew.
Macbeth.
no.
Henry the Fourth,
Will and I.
Henry the Fifth.
Fifth, sorry.
Henry the
Number
Fifth,
19
yeah.
was Chariots of Fire. And number 20 was A Matter of Life or Death.
Yeah.
Where did this list come from, Keith?
Where,
It's a British Film Institute.
BritishPictures.com.
Seriously flawed.
well, it's hopeless without Zulu. That is one of
Exactly.
the.
Zulu
Yeah.
was
Seriously,
number,
Yeah. Yeah.
Zulu
seriously.
was number 31.
Oh, that's
Nah,
ridiculous. I mean,
nah.
I mean, number 25 was The Full Monty.
Yeah.
Mm.
And number 26 also had a sort of Sheffield connection.
Sort of Sheffield.
Only sort of.
When
Sean
Saturday
Bean.
comes.
No,
Sean Bean.
nope.
Sort of.
Relegation.
Oh, I want Ian banned. I want Ian suspended.
Sorry,
I remember
I'll go on
Liverpool as a.
I'll go
I
on
remember,
mute.
I
It's
remember
to do with
Liverpool
the music.
failing second division team.
It's
Do
to,
it.
To do with the music.
It's not Wallace and Gromit then. No.
no,
Is
Where
it
you
brass,
belong.
brassed off? Brassed off.
no, that comes further down.
Gentlemen.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, what about what Ron said? Joe Cocker singing theme tune.
No, no, it's not that.
The one about the ballet dancer.
No, I know all about it. That's another clue.
Keith.
It can't be a film called Firmington.
No.
That's when Saturday
Daft
comes.
Keith. That's it.
Do you want another clue then? Dave Berry.
Crying Game.
Yeah.
Crying Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then comes Dr. Zhivago, Monty Python's Life of Brian, with Neil, Gregory's Girl, Zulu, Room at the Top, Alfie, Gandhi, The Lady Vanishes, The Italian Job, Local Hero, The Commitments, A Fish Called Wanda, Secret Lives. So,
How do they judge?
All very subjective.
How are they judged?
It's
All very
subjective.
subjective.
Yeah,
Very
it's
subjective.
the
What's the
BFI,
criteria?
the members of the British Film Institute voting on what they think are the best films.
yeah.
Not necessarily the most popular, but what they think are the best.
Yeah.
Anybody seen A Sporting Life?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Richard
Yes.
Harris.
Yeah.
Start
Richard
with
Harris. The
somebody
punch in the
getting
scrum.
punched in the scrum.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Infamous, isn't it?
To show how ridiculous it is, A Hard Day's Night is at number 88. Now,
Oh.
Summer Holiday.
the Bells of St. Trinians is also included in the top 100.
Fine film.
And Carry On Up the Khyber.
That was
Carrying on the
brilliant.
card
That.
was classic.
Absolutely brilliant, that one.
Infamy.
Infamy.
Yeah.
Infamy.
They've all got it.
Infamy.
I mean, Hard Day's Night is the best pop music related film ever made anywhere.
Yeah.
You reckon?
It's actually a good film, not only because of the music. It's a good film.
Was that
Yeah.
the one with Wilfred Bramble in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, a very clean
Yeah.
old man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah,
clean.
that's it.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
strange
when-
because his
When Ringo gets lost.
steptoe was always referring to him as a dirty old man.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So,
Keith,
Yes.
Keith,
Yes.
just add one thing to basically for Ron. My dad was invited all sorts of people to club dinners. He invited Colin Welland in 1984, and he had a lot of letters between him and Colin. I don't think they met, but they had a lot of letters, and that's the last one, and it's signed by Colin Welland. So it's signed by an Oscar winner at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
The British are coming. The
Yeah.
British are
The
coming.
British are coming, so Colin
Chris.
was a big cricket fan.
Chris, did he actually
Yes.
play rugby league or was he just interested in it?
Who?
Colin Welland.
Colin Well, I don't know. I don't know.
certainly,
He was a very sporty person.
I don't know. He was quite a young man when he was in Z cars, wasn't
Yeah.
Yes.
He was.
one of the policemen in
Steve
Z cars.
Yeah.
So
You have to look after
I
Brian
doubt if he,
Bessie.
apart from an amateur, I doubt if he played it professionally.
I'm surprised that Kes isn't one of the films.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's
Got to
number
be in the top
7.
20.
Seven.
Sorry, Keith. Sorry. Okay.
It was number 7.
Okay. Sorry.
What the American Film Institute have done is they've done categories, which is an easier thing to do. So there's a category of comedy, of action film, and then they do their top films in that category.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit more understandable. Because how can Kes be in the same category as Zulu? I mean, it
Or
doesn't
up the
work.
Khyber.
Chris,
Have
one
you
of my
ever
favorite
Have you ever been to
American films, Chris, was when you mentioned Zulu, was I think I would be about 7, went to a friend's birthday party and they took us to the pictures, the Abbey Cinema in Liverpool, and we
Oh,
watched
yeah.
the Alamo, and we all got
Yeah.
a big bar of toffee each, which lasted the entire film, and it was one of the longest films ever. You might.
Yeah, yeah. Although Chris, Di Bradley from Kes was in Zulu Dawn, the follow-up to Zulu.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a famous soap actor that was in Zulu Dawn, and he's still in the program. Anyone guess that one?
Which
Brian
program?
Blessed.
Chris Chattel plays Eric Pollard in Emmerdale.
Yeah,
Was in
Yeah, he
Zulu
was,
Dawn.
yeah.
Was in Zulu Dawn.
yeah. Well, I'm Burt Lancaster.
Mm.
He was never in Emmerdale, though, John.
No, he was in Corrie, wasn't
Peter O'Toole.
Half the
Simon
country
Ward.
watches Emmerdale and Coronation Street. You think we've got a chance?
Just on Colin Welland on Wikipedia, it just says he was a lifelong rugby league fan who played and supported the sport on the field and in writing newspaper columns.
That's
I
right.
don't think he actually played professional.
He knew a lot about it. He used to do quite a number of documentaries, which I found quite fascinating. Colin Welland.
Yeah.
There's a hand up down here.
Right, hang on. Yes, sorry, go on. I was yes, Dave.
Right, this is just to change the subject slightly. Could either you or Brian throw a bit of light on foul throws these days? Because virtually every throw that's taken to me seems to be verging on a foul throw.
Yeah, I think the same, Dave.
Has anything changed?
No.
Yeah, because the focus now is not on refereeing the game; it's on managing the game. And who wants to see the game stop for a foul throw? So just
Well,
get on.
I'd like to see him taught how to do the throw first, and then you wouldn't get so many foul throws, would you?
Well, exactly.
They're
Exactly. But
ridiculous. The feet are over the line. The ball don't go behind their head.
They're dropping it a lot of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Right, just
I
a
know
minute,
what you're going to tell me, Keith.
let me stop you.
You're going to tell me that the feet don't have to be behind the line.
They don't have to be behind, so long as
So something has changed then.
part of the feet is touching the line, then it's a legal throw.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You should be over.
I remember one player in particular, he used to make sure only his heels were on the line when he took the throw. And people used to complain, and he said, your foot's...
I mean, what's up with these people? Why cannot they not toe the line?
Don't worry,
And how
John.
can
It'll
you
all
take a quarter with the ball's just hovering over the quarter?
And it's
circle?
Brian,
be,
exactly.
John, it'll all be over by the end of the season. There won't be any football. You've got nothing to worry about. It'll be finished.
But
Yeah,
I'd
is
like
that
something else
correct?
to depress me.
Like putting the ball into the scrum straight. That's
yeah,
Oh.
stopped ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah,
Well, in
Lol,
rugby league, it's just
Oh,
as simple.
I just
as
wondered, Keith, whether you'd like to hear the news this week.
No.
you've got 3 minutes, Lol. Quick.
Yeah, we can Sorry, Lol. Sorry.
You look very clear
The
now. Very
one
clear
thing-
picture.
The other thing, we've gone all morning without mentioning Jose
Oh,
you
yeah.
old spur.
Yes.
We've been talking about sport.
Would have actually
Next
had a
week,
football
Keith, you'll
conversation
get
without
old
being.
news.
Right. Yeah, we're going to get old news. Who's doing the film next week? Is it
I am.
you are? And it's going to be
About Man of Bronze, known in America as Jim
Jim
Thorpe
Thorpe.
All-American. Jim Thorpe,
Yeah.
Man of
Oh,
Bronze.
yeah.
that should be good.
And it's not
So-
only about athletics.
All right, that's great stuff. So, any news highlights, Ron, Lol, that you can?
No, I've got face on.
All right.
Oh well, makes up for other weeks.
I'm going to make you supper
Yeah,
next
but-
week.
I'll give you a question. A question then. Which football league team has currently got the longest unbeaten record? Now, I'm not talking about in the past. I'm talking now. Ooh, that stumped you.
It's not Barnsley, is it?
Oh, they lost.
It's not Norwich, is it?
No, they
just
lost
said it.
on.
Somebody's just said it.
Barnsley?
Barnsley.
No.
We beat them.
They lost.
No, somebody else has just said it.
What, Norwich? They lost.
No,
No.
Blackpool.
Oh, yes, they have. Yes, I read that.
Well,
Blackpool.
Well,
I think they've gone either 16 or 17 games unbeaten.
Oh, they're towering above everybody else.
Well,
Another quick question.
question for you.
What was unusual about Manchester United's victory over Burnley this week?
They scored first.
No.
You'll have to tell us we're under a minute.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time in 10 attempts that the home team has won a match between the two teams.
very good.
Very strange.
Well,
All right, we're less than a minute, chaps. We'll see you all next week. Thanks very much,
Thank you.
Ron, and
Thank
everybody.
you.
Everybody.
Great stuff.
Sorry, Lord.
Yeah.
See you
Thank you.
next week.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well done, Ron.
Yeah.
Do